Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Some people gotta have it. We really all have to have it, don't we? It's so true, it's so true. So I had this big idea a few years ago about turning student affairs professionals into fundraisers. And one of my passions is running. I love to run. I think I was jaded in high school because I was on the field the field part of the track and field team. I threw shot put and I threw discus, and we didn't have to run. So after a few years, I just got into running. And one of the reasons is because in 2001, my mom was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. And so Susan G. Komen, these great people here, without them, she probably wouldn't be here today. So I like to give my time, my energy, and my strength, and my money to Susan G. Komen, where I like to race. In 2012, New Jersey, my home state, was hit by Hurricane Sandy. I was living in Boston at the time, and I really felt like I couldn't do much. So I gave them money. I remember watching the news and seeing people set up shop with their surge protectors so people can charge. That's all about supporting the community. Last April, I was a hall director at Boston University. I was 2 blocks away from the bombs. And that was very hard. So not only did I have to be there for my students, but I had to really support them and really try and figure out what I can do to help them with this grieving process. It's called enhancing the human spirit. And so the after effect of all those Boston bombings is signs like this that were set up around Copley Square. And so they really wanted to reduce human suffering by really showing the fact that we care. People came out in droves, and this miraculous healing took place after the Boston Marathon bombings. So I kind of went quickly through the 3 fundamentals of fundraising: enhancing the human spirit, supporting community organizations, and looking at, I just had my oh shit moment. It happens, you know. So here's what we do in student affairs. We actually help students build their fundamentals every day. When they first walk into those residence halls, when they first pick up their keys, to when they first join their student organizations, we are helping them build a solid foundation at our institutions. I'm right there with the little tool. We talk to our students every day. Whether it is we advise the leadership team, we advise sorority, fraternity, we adjudicate those judicial hearings. Yep, we have great conversations with them, and along the line, we just are there to encourage them and to do their very best and to tell them, we know you'll drink, but do it responsibly. We help them grow. Again, we teach them everything we like to know. We help them grow into leaders, visionaries, dreamers, scientists, engineers, even student affairs professionals. So, you know, we were all one students, and, you know, we had that person who helped us grow. And so what does this really mean for all of us? We also, after they leave, we stay connected with them through Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest. What else is on there? RSS feed. Yeah, so we try and stay connected to them. Sometimes we even call them on the telephone. What a radical concept. And we email them, and maybe we even send them some snail mail. So you're probably wondering, where do I start with this adventure of getting students to give back to my university? Like I said, communication is the most important key. You actually want to develop a plan on how to get your students to give money back. That starts with when they leave college, you know, what do you plan on doing? When I have a student come in and say, I'm going to law school, I see money signs. You have to plan out your ideas, so you have to do all your research. How has my institution or department changed since this student left school? Well, it probably has changed, especially if they are planning on becoming doctors and lawyers. So what vision can you get them to buy into when they return? So there are definitely so many different types of donors. There's, you know, the people who donate once a year. They do planned giving. They do everything from just like donating money on a street. This is actually from Penn State. There's the canning, their dance marathon, FTK, which I love. But you want them to actually become endowed donors because I think that keeps giving them more money every single year. And like I said, it's about communication. You want your students to understand where you're coming from, but you also have to show them that you are still invested in them just as much as they are still invested in you. I'm just gonna dance. That's what I do best. Awesome, so you may be asking, thank you, Sissy, I love her laugh. You may be asking, why is this important? Why should I take on another role that's just gonna, put more work on my plate when we're already stretched thin? But trust me, it pays off. Do you know why? Why? Because our departments usually have no money, especially if we work in public institutions. So just think, if you go to someone, a former RA, to say, you know what, you're doing big things, and you know what, you really had a formative experience during your time as an RA. I wrote you that great recommendation letter to get you into that grad program, to then get you that job to where you're making a lot of money. Just like this young man, he was not an RA, but he did make the biggest donation of $25 million to Boston University. He said he had a lot of formative experience at Boston University, and therefore he gave money back to the Honors College, which then actually renovated one of the residence halls, which is now the Killeshaw Honors College. These people behind me, you may recognize some of them. Do you know what they all have in common? They were all RAs. So Hillary Clinton was an RA at Wellesley College. What happens, just think, her hall director could be hitting her up for some cash right now. I bet the Student Affairs Department at Wellesley College could be rolling. There are some things that you shouldn't be scared of, and this is one of them. You should not be scared to ask them for their help because they were not afraid to ask you for your help. Makes sense. So you know what? I know I said this was my big idea, and I want to leave you on a little quote from my favorite philosopher, Bruce Springsteen. You can't start a fire without a spark. Thank you.